Coming to you live from the MediaPlex in downtown Windsor, this is a presentation of St. Clair College Journalism.
It's Friday morning, so you know what that means. It's time for Friday Live. Good morning, everybody. I'm your host, Albert Sharp, bringing you the inside scoop on today's latest news. A new development is coming to Windsor at the site of the burned-out Le Chef restaurant. The remains of the former restaurant on Wyandotte Street East have begun demolition to make room for a new four-story project. Windsor residents have shown great support for this development following reports that the old building had been converted into a drug den. Used needles and other drug paraphernalia had been found within the remaining structure. This project is said to be just the beginning for Wyandotte Street East, with more renovations and redevelopments reportedly in the works. But there was a fire at the Westcourt Place here in downtown Windsor, and Brett Blake has more on that.
A class action lawsuit has been filed against the owner of Westcourt Place in downtown Windsor after a parking garage fire on November 12th displaced hundreds of residents and commercial tenants. The suit alleges the defendant failed to do his duty and keep the property in a proper state of repair. The lawsuit is $35 million in total, $25 million for general damages, and $10 million for special and punitive damages. The medical officer of health deemed the building unsafe due to damages of infrastructure and lack of power. Some tenants have found accommodations, including the WFCU Center for Shelter. However, the owners offered to pay for motel accommodations for any residents unable to find a place to stay. I'm Britt Blake, reporting for MediaPlex News Now.
On Monday, a new law will be taking effect in Quebec to penalize drunk drivers in a more strict way. Any drivers caught driving under the influence of alcohol twice within 10 years will be required to install a special interlock device to their vehicle for the rest of their lives.
That's good.
This device will act like a breathalyzer, testing the estimated blood alcohol concentration every time the driver starts their vehicle. If the concentration is deemed too high, the device will prevent their vehicle from starting. Alongside this policy, drivers who are forced to install this device will receive a special mark on their license to identify them to police officers. This is reportedly the strictest interlock legislation in the world right now.
That's good.
Yeah,
In my
absolutely.
opinion, yeah. I mean, if you're going to be doing that, drunk driving twice in 10 years, like, you shouldn't even be on the road in the first place, I think.
No one should be driving drunk on any road ever, just saying.
True.
But we got to keep this show rolling, so Zach, what's going on with the weather?
Happy weekend eve, guys.
What's
I
poppin'?
don't know what you guys got planned for the weekend.
Sleep.
But
Yeah.
I'm glad to say that the temperatures will be responding well this weekend. Currently, we are at a high of 2 Celsius and overcast. Now let's check that infamous 3-day forecast. Friday, we will have a high of 3 with a chance of showers. That chance is about 30%.
Oof.
Saturday, open house day, it will be a high of 5 Celsius with increasing cloudiness. Sunday, we will be at a high of 5 Celsius and cloudy. I will be back later on to talk about the stories that reporters wish they could tell. They include pantless joyriding, the ever-so-excited Florida man, and flatulence. It is all coming up on Weird News, so stick around. Back to you, Albert.
Heck
If
yeah.
we're looking forward to 5 degrees, I'm not looking forward to the weather.
Yeah, man.
But Christian, what's going on in the world of sports?
Nothing much. Thank you, Albert. What's poppin', you party people? Let's tee up and swing right into the sports. Congratulations to 3 of our Saints teams that have been nationally ranked. The men and women's basketball team sit in the same spot as last week, while the women's volleyball team has moved up in the rankings to number 14 in the nation. Congratulations, everyone. And for this week's CCAA marquee matchups, our Saints will be up against the Sheridan Bruins. Good luck to our Saints. The NFL says it investigated Cleveland defense and Myles Garrett allegations that Pittsburgh quarterback Mason Rudolph directed as a racial slur at him prior to last Thursday on-field brawl. We looked into it and found no such evidence, league spokesman Brian McCarthy said. Now the league should decide if additional punishment is meted on Garrett, who is already dealing with an indefinite suspension. Tyson Barrie, who joined the Maple Leafs in July trade with the Colorado Avalanche, had yet to show off his offense flair, which made him such a coveted asset.
Coveted. Christian.
During the first game of the Sheldon Keefe era, Barrie finally got on board with his first goal of the seasons, snipping a pinpoint shot past Arizona Coyotes goaltender Darcy Kuemper. The Leafs went to take the W with a final score 3-1. Also, the Canucks went 5 for 6 with the man advantage against the Predators. Elias Patterson had a goal and 2 assists, and Tyler Grovak, JT Miller, and Brock Bosner also scored power play goals before Tanner Pearson made it 6-3 with a shorthanded goal with 2 minutes and 2 seconds remaining. The Canucks took the victory with a 6-3. Carmelo Anthony's game with the Portland Trailblazers was better than his first, but it wasn't enough for the short-handed Trailblazers to complete with a massive triple-double from Giannis in a 137-129 loss to the Milwaukee Bucks on Thursday. For now, it's your boy Christian Standard, and that's all that's popping in the sports. It's a lot. Man.
We're talking dogs, data, and more this Friday Live. But first, we're talking to Christina Gilbo, who's one of our friends at Crime Stoppers, about this Crime of the Week.
Hi, Albert. How you doing?
I'm doing great. How you doing?
I'm doing okay. So our crime of the week today is on November 17th at approximately 6:35 p.m. Tecumseh OPP were dispatched to a robbery in progress at the Green Valley Plaza. A male suspect entered the back door of the Subway restaurant and forced 2 employees into the refrigerator. He then had another employee empty the cash register. The suspect fled the scene, leaving through the back door, and he traveled northbound onto Primrose Street and then westbound onto St. Gregory Street. This male suspect is described as a white male, mid-20s, approximately 5'7" to 5'9". He was wearing Under Armour running shoes, which were black and white in color, dark colored jeans, and a blue hoodie-style coat. The suspect was also carrying a black lug wrench. The Tecumseh OPP are asking for the public's assistance in identifying the suspect. A photo of the suspect has been posted on our social media pages and our Crime Stoppers website. So if anybody has information on this case, you're asked to contact the Essex County OPP Property Crime Unit, or if you wish to remain anonymous, you can always call us at Crime Stoppers.
All right, and I understand Crime Stoppers has an event coming up.
That's right. We have our annual wild game dinner that's going to be held at the Colasantes on February 28th, and our tickets are going on sale on November 28th.
And what kind of stuff can people expect there?
So in the past, we've had crocodile bites, kangaroo stir fry, water buffalo, wild boar, and this year we're adding a couple new items to the menu, Albert.
All right.
2 of those items are European perch, ostrich, and an Arctic smelt.
I'm looking forward to ostrich. I don't know why, but I kind of want to eat an ostrich.
Well, this is a really well-attended event. It's a lot of fun. So go to our website, November 28th. The tickets go on sale, and anybody can purchase their tickets right there.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Christina.
Thanks a lot for having me.
All right. Now, sometimes when you go to a coffee shop, it feels like you've been to the mall. But Ryan Percy went to a coffee shop with a twist.
A new cafe is catering to young adults with developmental differences and providing them with employment. Lucy Corpino Croto is the owner and said the cafe's goal is to help the community see past the differences.
It's just about accepting them and loving them and seeing them in a different light than society has seen them throughout the years.
One of the biggest smiles in the cafe recently was that of a customer, Senior Constable Celia Gagno.
I'm really excited to see how they are at work. I can already see they're busy now, and the fact that they're learning new skills is a happy day for me.
The cafe offers locally brewed Java along with a number of baked treats. For MediaPlex News, I'm Ryan Percy.
Thank you, Ryan. That place is something uncommon that should be common. But you know what's pretty common that the average person doesn't really think about? Data analytics. And we're here with Jayakar Vadla to talk about that. How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good, thanks for asking. So we hear a lot about data analytics, but what is it?
Well, data is everywhere. Do you use social media?
Oh, yeah.
Facebook collects data from every click that you make on the site. Walmart collects data. Airlines collect your data. Every industry, you name it, has data.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's got to sound pretty out there, but we know that data is everywhere, lots of it, but what do they do with it?
Well, in the olden days, we had data, but we didn't have the technology to be able to use the data and gain insights. Now that we have technologies and hardware to be able to store huge amounts of data, we can use that data to gain insights. So that's the keyword here, insights. Data analytics is all about finding insights in the data. It's about finding patterns in the data so that we could predict future sales for a company, ways to reduce costs, improve productivity and business gain, and understand customers better.
All right, so it's kind of like, Twitter analytics, Instagram analytics, that sort of stuff, but just for everything. Mm-hmm. All right. And what are the great benefits of data? Why are we analyzing it?
So let's take a deeper dive. The first thing is it eliminates the guesswork out of the door. It helps with improved decision making. The second is it helps with understanding the customers better. So that in turn helps with marketing.
Oh yeah, I mean that's got to be majorly important. Brands probably base everything they do around their data, right?
Yep.
Oh yeah. So can you just give us a quick example? How does this all work?
So let's say you're a marketer running an online campaign ad for your new smartphone coming out. So you might start off by just running an ad for your previous customers. When the customer clicks on the ad, you can generate data. So you could analyze the data that's coming out and see what they're into. Are they into photography? So your new smartphone that's coming out might have a better camera quality. So you could target the customers, your previous customers who are into photography, and also you might not have customers right now. You might also target customers who are into photography and run an ad that targets them specifically.
I definitely see a lot of ads for different camera lenses just because I'm looking that up all the time when I'm taking my photography class.
Well, that's data analytics for now. I'm Jay Carvadla.
Thank you for coming in and joining us today. Now, data may be showing what's best for data might be showing what's the best for you and your plants. And Trevor Ramiri has the report.
It is that time of year again when our favorite garden plants are yearning for brighter summer days. With this quick guide, you'll be better prepared to quickly assess what is best for your plants for the season to come. First and foremost is our tropicals. While they may have looked wonderful beside your pool, even our brisk autumn days risk dimming their vibrance of our more exotic plant friends. They must be brought inside and may even require additional needs, such as new soil or even equipment, such as a humidifier or an artificial light system, to stay just as vibrant through the colder months. Before taking your plant inside, take this opportunity to trim back any dead leaves or branches. Doing this will not only give your plant a more manicured look, but also encourage it to sprout new growth. Next, we have our annuals. Annuals are plants that reach full maturity and life cycle within, you guessed it, 1 year. In our part of Ontario, it is most likely that your annuals have already bloomed for the season. Unfortunately, it's time to say goodbye. Don't worry, it's not you, it's them. If you've not already removed your annuals, this is also a perfect time of year to clean out your planting beds so they are better prepared for your next spring planting. Finally, but certainly not least, there are perennials. Perennials, unlike annuals, can thrive beyond even 2 years. The exact life cycle of your plant will be determined by its species and quality of care. Some perennials will only survive a colder season if properly wrapped in a durable, natural cloth, such as burlap. Additionally, if you know that your plant is a bulb, you can trim the plant itself all the way down to the base of the stem. This will leave the plant in an optimal position for sprouting new blooms in the spring. Always remember that, while you may follow all of the rules, each plant has unique needs. If you're not certain, there are many fantastic resources online, or even on campus. I'm Trevor Ramiri, and this has been your Horticulture Minute.
You know, it may not be time of the year for plants because it's too cold, but plants are not the only thing it's too cold for, and Dunya El Haddad can tell us what's up.
This year, winter came early, but that didn't stop Reverend Ron Dunn and community activist Greg LeMay from hosting their third annual Bench Talk and 24-hour Sleep Out. Lisa Gretzky says it's important to bring attention to the harsh realities faced by our homeless community.
Sometimes you can't judge just by looking at someone whether or not they're homeless or not, if they're out sleeping rough. But there has been an increase in homelessness. The cost of living has gone up, the cost of rent has gone up, the cost of food has gone up. When you look at government programs like social assistance, it's been stagnant, or has, in some cases, if you look at the cost of living going up and rent going up, it's actually decreased, making it harder for people to get by. Minimum wage is not kept up with what it should be. It should be a living wage, not just minimum wage.
The Overnight Sanctuary opens its doors between 9 p.m. and 2 a.m. Currently, the mission has 103 beds with approximately 20 mats for overflow, but they also have acquired the Windsor Library to expand services.
Or the catalyst behind that purchase was to be able to expand services to try and meet the need a little bit better. So we've sold our property on Victoria, so everything will move over to the new site on Olette. But the really kind of the main piece of the main reason was housing. We believe that everybody has the right to, fundamental basic right to housing, adequate, affordable housing. And so we have, we're right now 34 units scheduled to go on the second floor.
So it's almost been 24 hours, and how are you feeling?
Tired. I don't think anybody should have to do this. Presented new challenges, extremely cold this time. Like I said, we'll see what we feel, after tomorrow as we wind down.
Well, thank you so much. And my name is Danielle Haddad, reporting from MediaPlex News. Back to you at the studio.
And Madeline Mazak knows that sometimes life just gets harder, and sometimes even just a closer grocery store can help.
Sandwichtown hasn't had a grocery store for 2 years, and that will not change anytime soon. The old Westside Foods grocery store shut down in May 2018 and has sat vacant. Up until now, construction began this month to build the Dollarama and was met with outcry from Sandwich residents. Among the most affected are the community's seniors.
Very few drive, a lot of people in wheelchairs. Hard to get groceries. I have to always look for somebody to take me. My family helps, when they can, but it's hard. You can't just run out and get a loaf of bread,
Annette Roberts has lived in Sandwichtown her entire life. On Saturday afternoon, she volunteered at her church, down the street from the construction site.
We don't need a dollar store. We have lots of dollar stores. They're everywhere. Every corner you see, there's dollar stores.
Roberts says she does her shopping at Freshco on Tecumseh Road East. She usually walks, a trip that takes an hour and 20 minutes according to Google Maps. But with the current winter weather, she rides the bus.
I went there on Wednesday. It took me 2 hours to get a couple groceries. 2 hours.
The whole trip?
4 buses.
There and back?
Yeah, 4 buses altogether, there and back.
And all the while you're carrying your groceries?
Yes, I did that day.
For now, residents can buy basic items like bread and milk at the dollar store, right down the street from the new Dollarama, which is slated to open before the new year. For MediaPlex News, I'm Madeline Mazak.
And maybe even just a simple companion can help. Kanal Patel reports.
1-year-old pooch Phoebe hails from Texas and has been in Windsor for about 5 months now. She's looking to permanently settle down with a family in Windsor. But how did she end up here?
A lot of our dogs are rescued from the southern United States, where there's a lot of high kill shelters, and often they're found just roaming the street, trying to feed themselves, and brought into a shelter, and the shelter contacts us and says, I think this dog is appropriate for adopting to a family, and so we get them their vetting and bring them to Canada. And
many foster parents are involved in the rescue mission, and Phoebe's foster parents says other prospective adopters do not need to worry about anything, as
they're vetted, they're fixed, they have microchips, they are up to date with shots, they have their preventative constantly, go to the vet whenever they need it. And hopefully she'll find it soon. I hope so, because she needs to be loved.
If you plan on bringing a pet home on Christmas, this will be one of your last chances to adopt, as the Animal Rescue is closing their adoption for Christmas on December 8th. If you would like to adopt Phoebe or any other animal, log on to www.scarrescue.org. For MediaPlex News, I'm Kanal Patel.
Now that's around Windsor. But what's around Hollywood? Savannah knows.
This is VTalk, bringing you the hottest from Hollywood. Let's get right into it. Earlier this week, Kim Kardashian gave an interview about Kylie Jenner selling the majority stake in Kylie Cosmetics for $600 million. Over the past week, rumors have surfaced over a break between Miley Cyrus and Cody Simpson. Cody took to Instagram stories to clear any gossip about a split. He shared a photo of his screensaver revealing a baby picture of Miley. Cardi B may have made a naughty list every other year, but this year she teamed up with Santa and Pepsi to film yet another fun commercial. November 21st, Pepsi announced that they and Cardi have teamed up to give fans a chance to win a large cash prize. Guess we will be twerking around the Christmas tree this year.
Looking forward to it.
The cast of Frozen dressed up as their animated characters and put on a special show in the streets of LA November 20th. Frozen fans will never be ready to let it go. Let it go.
Can't hold it back anymore.
Let it go.
I'm Vanna. This has been VTalk, bringing you the hottest from Hollywood.
You know, Hollywood life can be pretty weird, but it's not as weird as what's going on in Tristan Zuderbean's head.
Topics or whatever comes to mind. I'm Tristan Zuderveen. Today, we're looking into a YouTube masterpiece by one of the platform's most popular gamers, Mark Fishbach, aka Markiplier. In 2017, Mark released Who Killed Markiplier, a first-person whodunit series where the viewer is a district attorney attending a poker night at Markiplier Manor when Mark is murdered. You work alongside Damien the mayor, William the colonel, Abe the detective, Benjamin the butler, and Celine the seer to solve the mystery. In the end, the story is revealed to be quite convoluted. Damien, Mark, and William were childhood friends. In fact, William and Mark grew up in the same house. Mark fell in love with Damien's sister Celine and eventually married her. Sometime later, Celine ran off with William, leaving Mark alone in the manor. The malicious voices of the manor convinced him that they did not deserve to be happy, and he planned his revenge, to frame William for murder. He tricked William into killing him and intended to steal his body, but Celine's arrival ruined the plan. The house was quick to convince him of a different solution, and Mark instead stole Damien's body, while the entity of the house possessed Celine, both escaping. When the investigation drives the colonel into a frenzy, and he confronts the detective, he ends up not only shooting Abe, but you as well. You plummet over a railing and somehow end up in a dark world face to face with Mark's broken body. There you find the spirits of Celine and Damien, who tell you that you can go back. You return to your body to find the colonel sitting by your side. He is convinced that everything must have been a joke. Otherwise, how could you have gotten back up? He runs off into the house, calling for everyone else who has died. You turn to the mirror to see that you have changed. Your body now houses the souls of Celine and Damien combined. The series ends as you watch as they walk off with your body, leaving you trapped in the mirror. And that's only the beginning of the story. If you want to know what happens next, tune in next week for part 2 of this breakdown of the Markiplier cinematic universe. By the way, without the filter, an infinity symbol looks like a tipped hourglass, where time never runs out.
Always something to think about.
Always something weird to think about.
Where do these stories come from?
Yeah, where'd you find this?
This is a YouTuber. It's just this video he released.
It's super. It's cool.
That's only the beginning. There's
intriguing.
more.
Yeah, you should see her notes.
It's intriguing.
Or probably not. I've tried to follow them and I could not do it.
I struggle too.
If that's the half of it, I really don't
Not
want to
even
see
half.
the notes. Oh,
Not even.
So, Zach, I know
Yes,
we've talked a
Albert.
lot these past couple weeks, and let's see if you can top her weirdness.
I'll try. Thank you, Albert. Hello, everybody. It's your favorite weirdo with your favorite segment, Weird News.
Let's go.
I'm not ready.
This is not considered a Florida man since this man is from Calgary, Alberta. The HuffPost reports that the suspect, Richard Hogue, who was under the influence of crystal meth, was arrested after taking a pantless joyride across an Orlando, Florida tarmac. And that was on a luggage towing vehicle.
Oh my God.
Way to represent the North, Richard. Moving on, he also shares a tad bit of advice. Do not do crystal meth. Geez, you think?
Yeah, no, let's not do crystal meth. That is the message of this week's broadcast.
There go my plans.
This is in an airport.
This is from an Orlando airport. Yes.
Crazy.
I wonder what kind of advice he has for the people who take joyrides on the scooters around the Walmart. Have you guys done that yet?
I have.
I have one time and then I got kicked out.
Well, I'm missing out then. Alrighty now, a 1, 2, 3, and a 4. Florida man, does whatever a Florida man can. Look out, here comes the Florida man.
Look out indeed.
Time magazine reports a Florida man, Brian Sherman, was a little too excited to pose with a costume Disney princess when he groped her.
Oh.
Yeah, no, not cool. Not cool.
What a guy.
Mr. Sherman put his right arm around the woman's shoulder and began to move it lower and groped her right breast. The woman was immediately uncomfortable.
Understandably so.
Was this at where
This was at Disney.
I would have
Disney
punched
World.
him.
It's crazy.
Just when you thought Mickey Mouse was the only one you had to worry about. Oh boy, come here, Cinderella.
Nope. I'm scared of Mickey Mouse now. That's official.
Where did this go?
Oh, good Lord. All right, you guys ready? 100% ready.
Never
ready.
This story from Clay County, Missouri, according to Fox9.com, and the Clay County Sheriff's, also Liberty Police, were searching for a suspect who was wanted for possession of a controlled substance. The suspect tried to hide from police, but apparently he let out a loud fart. In fact, the fart was so loud. How loud was it?
Yeah.
It was so loud that it broke the sound barrier. On their Facebook page, read a comment from the sheriff's office. Props to the Liberty PD for using their senses to sniff out the suspect. Too bad for the suspect's plan was foiled by flatulence. On that random note, that's enough weirdness for this week. Oh, a weird random question. Why is Canada's national animal a beaver? Back to you, Albert.
And that's our show for today. I'm your host, Albert Sharp. Friday Live is a student-run show, and we've had contributions from Brett Blake, Ryan Percy, Zachary Balog, Trevor Ramiri, Christian Stannard, Dunya El Haddad, Jaya Vadla, Savannah Mills, Tristan Zuderveen, Madeline Mazak, and Kanal Patel. Thank you, and have a great weekend, everybody.